This video has been sponsored by Surfshark VPN, who are offering you 83% off with 3 extra months for free when you use the promo code Jack Howard. I think that's a bloody good deal. I realise I am biased because the promo code is my name, but still. Let's just get this out of the way. I am incredibly aware that sitting here, holding a microphone, showing you the behind the scenes elements of making my videos while talking about Bo Burnham's inside is unoriginal. I'm aware of that. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Actually, the fact that I am doing all of that and I felt the need to acknowledge it is kind of relevant. Inside kind of revealed to me things about myself that I don't think I'd ever seen them represented before. You know, as a white man, I felt seen. The reason why I connected with it so much, and I think you can connect with it on many, many different levels, is because Bo is exploring a creator's relationship with a camera, with the creative process. I think that, what we're calling this, it's a special, but I think it's a film. I think that Robert is playing Bo Burnham, and we're seeing creator and creation, art and artist simultaneously. We're seeing him build this thing and seeing the final result in the same, and that is the thing that he's made. And I think it's a beautiful demonstration and a very painful, truthful demonstration of how it feels to create something. And that's what I saw in this. And I think that the pandemic, the situation, capital T, capital S, the lockdowns, the isolation of that has offered Bo the perfect background to talk about something that he's wanted to talk about I'm just speculating here, but it feels like this has been bursting out of him, and it's just given him the perfect opportunity to explore it in a way that people can relate to, who aren't mental like me and decide that this is what they want to do with their lives, to create something. But not only that, but our generation of creators. I'm not comparing myself to Bo Burnham in any sense at all. Sorry, what happened just then is that I was worried that I wasn't recording the audio. I'm going to try and make this as authentic as I possibly can, because a lot of the time when I'm on camera, the things that you see inside, they feel incredibly relatable. The moments when he's setting up and noticing the difference, the distance between him and the lens, or when he has a strop, when he sits down and he tries to express something and he can't find the words for it, or he can't quite figure out a way to articulate it. The awareness that you have when you're sat there in front of a lens, there's nothing natural about it. And that's, without him even having to say it, that's what was bursting out of it for me. That was the subtext of everything, was I am aware the entire time when I'm filming something, I know this is fake. This is not real. And that's been coming through in a lot of Bo's work over the years. He meant to knock the water over. Yeah, art is a lie. Nothing is real. I think he's, in a Brechtian way, to use a wanky term, he likes to tell you this isn't real. And I think that there's something important about the way he's doing it here, because he's using this quite new language of YouTube vlogging. He's saying, this is just me and my camera, and there's something about that we've been told is authentic. It's just one person talking to another. But it isn't. I'm not talking to a person. I am talking to a camera. And that is a relationship that we don't talk about very often. There is something about this situation right now that I'm putting myself in that isn't natural. Where am I going with this? I think that in this movie, in this film, Bo is using that YouTube vlogger language to make you ask the question, is what I'm watching is what I'm watching an authentic representation of that moment, or am I being performed to? And I think that's interesting. I talked to Mark Kermode about this on our podcast, Kermode On Film, which you can find the link for in the description. And Mark had an interesting reaction to this film and asked me the question about the moment when Bo breaks down on camera. He said, is that moment real? And in my opinion, it doesn't matter. You would never, in any other situation when you're watching a film, question if an actor's performance is real or not. I think that what's going on here is that he's using unusual visual language, so you feel like what you're watching should be real. And if you're being told, no, it's not, that wasn't a real breakdown, I didn't really break down crying there, that was a performance because that's what I needed to happen in the moment in the narrative of the film, that to me makes total sense. That doesn't make it any less authentic. And that's what's interesting, is that there's this complicated relationship that you have in this sort of creative position when it is just you and the camera, rather than there being a crew and a script and a story. When it is you deciding, I'm going to sit down and film myself, there is a performance element to it, and there's a sort of line there about when am I being myself, when am I being truthful, and when am I not. That's what I got out of this. I think that Inside is a once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece. I know that's a huge thing to say. My friend Jack Dean, Jackmate, put online somewhere about it being the best thing that's ever been created, which, calm down, Jack, but I get what you're seeing in it. And of course, Jack relates to this, because like me, he's spent more than half of his life probably performing for a camera and has made it his job. A hobby that you have has become a thing that you need to do in order to make money. This video is the same. This video is sponsored. And to be frank, a big reason why I'm still making videos is because it is a job. It's something that it's melded into this space between hobby and job, where I'm not sure if I would do this anymore if it weren't paying the rent, but I don't know how to do anything else. So there's something about this that I don't quite feel like I flock to as much as I would have done when I was a kid. And there is something strange as well to do with doing something that you did when you were a child. Imagine something that you really enjoyed when you were a teenager, and imagine that now just being your job. You don't know what you're doing when you're a kid like that. You don't know what sort of stuff you're going to want to spend all your time doing. I just picked this and accidentally it's become this. And don't get me wrong, I'm so lucky and I love the things that I do. But this specifically, sitting down and talking to a camera alone in my room, I just don't know if I would choose to do it if I weren't being paid to do it. And I don't know if that's weird. I don't think that is weird. So yeah, I'll bring this to a conclusion. I think that room that he's in, although we all relate to it because we've been stuck in our rooms for the past year and a half, I think that room is real for Bo every single time he wants to make something. There's a lyric in a few of the songs, I think, where he says, well, look who's inside again, went out to look for a reason to hide again. And that to me feels like how Bo is expressing what his creative process is. And I relate to that. The creative process feels like you go out, you live life, and something inspires you to want to go and make something. So it's a little bit like he's saying, I only live so that I can experience something that's going to inspire me so that I come back and make something out of it. And then it's almost like he's looking at that creative process under a microscope and questioning it and saying, what is this? Why do I do this? Is this even healthy? It clearly takes him to some very dark places, and he's even admitted in this special and before it that he has panic attacks on stage. And I think he said 9 out of the 10 of the panic attacks he's ever had have been on stage. That's clearly not a healthy response to something, but he keeps doing it. And again, I relate to that, not specifically that experience, but the feeling of it. And yet, the ending of the special is him watching himself back. The ending that we've just watched, he's watching it and he responds to it by smiling, and that's where we finish. And that to me, I mean, how that made me feel was like, yeah, it's all worth it. After all that, the questioning of, should I be doing this? Is this good for me? What am I getting out of it? Oh, it made me laugh. Yeah, I'll come back in this room again. Okay, so now I'm going to attempt to seamlessly and subtly and elegantly transition into the sponsored segment. This video was sponsored by Surfshark VPN. That was it. If you enjoyed Bo Burnham's Inside, I'd really recommend you check out his feature debut, 8th Grade. It's currently available on the UK Netflix. But if you're not from the UK, not to worry. I'd see you worrying over there. Don't, because you can just change your location using Surfshark VPN and you can watch it from wherever you are. Surfshark are offering you 83% off with 3 extra months for free when you use the promo code Jack Howard. Bloody good deal. Thank you very much for watching. I'm now going to put the microphone on the stool and walk away, but as we all know, that doesn't lead anywhere. It's just for an effect. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe.
Hello, this is me, Mr. Jack Howard, making a completely unoriginal vlog about Bo Burnham's Inside. Hottie.